an apology to the Slav right. Sorry guys, I'm a Muggle blood. Besides being Ukrainian, I'm also part Greek.
I love the Greeks. Oh, do I love the Greeks.
And while I usually have Slav squatting ovations in mind when I'm crafting my rants, the rest of this vid is dedicated to my fellow Hellenes. Honestly, I don't know if it's coverage fatigue, post-economic crisis and bailouts and austerity and the hell unleashed thereafter, or what really, but it would seem that every pundit in the West is really content in obsessing over France and Germany and Sweden's Islamo-globalist demise, that they've forgotten all about Greece. So, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to take 5 minutes to just tell you why my heart is breaking for Greece. So, this week, Hellenes across the world are celebrating Greek Independence Day, and once upon a time, I was one of them. But this year, I refuse. Why? No, not because I don't respect our country's history, it's because I'm pissed. Because the truth of the matter is, Greeks, well, they aren't independent anymore. Greece has lost her independence, and the poetic injustice of it all, well, it couldn't be more straightforward. Think about it. So, Hellenes are celebrating Greek Independence Day. Long story short, Greek patriots fought and won a revolution against their Muslim Turkish overlords. Before their independence, the Ottomans ruled the Greeks with an Islamo iron fist, instituting a regime of apartheid and enslaving whole populations of our forefathers for some 400 years. So for over 10 years, the revolutionary wars and battles were fought. Whole massacres of Greeks in Ionia, Crete, Constantinople, Macedonia, the Aegean Islands, and elsewhere, well, they took place. Whole communities across Greece were wiped out. An enormous amount of blood was spilled in the name of Greek independence from the Muslim Turks. And so, naturally, when the Turks were finally and decidedly overthrown, well, Greeks, they started a new era, an era of real development and unabashed, unwavering nationalism, and very large part, by the way, thanks to efforts from the Orthodox Church. Now, I won't bore you with any more history, but suffice it to say this. The Hellenes have a lot to be proud of, with a long and storied history stretching over thousands of years. Ancient Greece was the cradle of Western civilization, with truly magnificent achievements in areas like governance. It's the birthplace of democracy, of course, and science and math and philosophy, architecture and the arts, so much of which, well, it still influences our lives today. And while the mountains and the Mediterranean and the meals and the model-level babes only intensify Hellenic patriotism. But today, well, it's a different story. Sure, Greeks still love their history and country, but the truth is, it's not theirs anymore. They've sold it, and they've allowed it to be invaded. Greek independence is just a hollow phantom, a ghost of our past we acknowledge once a year as another reality haunts us, a reality in which the once independent Greeks have been turned into slaves again. Yes, slaves to debt, but perhaps more disturbingly, slaves to empire. Once again, with a distinctly Islamophilic tinge. Now, a quick note on the economic side, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I will say this. By entering into the predictable systemic crisis that is the Eurozone in an attempt to tie together 19 nations with different fiscal policy, varying employment rates, and all-round gaps so painfully obvious from their failure to produce even common symbolism, resulting in ambiguous bridges and roads on their banknotes. Well, following Greece's inevitable inability to keep up, followed by the most insane bailout terms that came after, well, following all of that, Greece is pretty much permanently screwed from an economic standpoint. After years of anti-Hellenic deals signed by the Syriza government and the New Democracy Party that governed before them, well, memorandums commit the national wealth of Greece for the next century to foreign hands. Foreign hands that will control Greek electricity, communications, water, ports, including Piraeus, tourist ports and marines, all of the country's airports, public transit, roads, government and tourist and Olympic properties, natural gas, oil, and just about every other natural resource. Thanks to the IMF, ECB, EU, and traders of the Greek national government who have become the call girls of the foreign usurers, well, Greece has lost her national economic sovereignty. The country is not independent. It's been converted into a protectorate of foreign powers in which local workers, farmers, and agricultural producers ultimately pay the price with slashed pensions and consumption taxes, well, topping even 25%. Now, to be honest, though, with summer on the country's doorstep, it's not actually the debt slavery that has me worried. It's immigration. Greece has turned into a regional ghetto of illegal immigrants. Thanks to Chancellor Angela Merkel, the superstate EU, and disloyal sellouts in the Greek parliament, Greece has turned into an illegal migrant storage house. Because of Greece's location, it's more often than not the entry point for millions of Muslim men who have accepted Chancellor Merkel's invitation for European-style welfare. You know, 2 years ago,
Good afternoon, Greek friends and all over the world. This is Philocharos for America, for Radio AlfaOmega. Like every Sunday, the same time, 12 o'clock New York time. So today we have a plan to show, to say plan of action of next day of E.SY. E.SY is the Greek organization, United Greek. You try now to take over the office because all these years, all this politics, like you see the movie, the video before, what's going on in Greece. Today we have a guest from Athens, Fokion, very beautiful name, Karagiannis, and we have Manolis Miliadis from England, from London. So these two fellas, hi guys, how are you today?
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Philocharos. Greetings from Athens, and good evening to all there.
Thank you. Manolis.
Good evening from me to all my fellow aliens around the world and all my fellow humans as well, because it is the same thing.
My friends, today we come in to give whatever you can give to the Greeks who is not speak Greek, or the really Americans, or everybody speak English, whatever we can. This is my position now. I come every Sunday with a very poor vocabulary I have in English, and I try to do my best. And I hope someday, come a young person, will speak beautiful English to have a better show, or show to continue because the Greece need this stuff now. We needed this. So the program we have today, what this organization can do the next day. First of all, let's talk about this organization with few words. All these years, the Greece, all the politicians make so many mess to our country. And about 7 years ago, with the name Artemios Soros, we bring a lot of Greek, all the Greeks together. We make this organization we call E.SY. From now on, you hear many times the words E.SY, mean you. This is a non-profitable organization, and we try all united, without religion, without politics, what you believe before, what money you have. We come in only to be a Greek. So after we try to get the government, because very soon we have election, and very soon everybody, you have to go to the vote. So this time, please, Greek fellas, don't make the mistake like all the years we make these mistakes. This time is very dangerous for our country. So today we discuss with the friends about the next day with a lot of subjects, explain what's the program of E.SY for the next day, the next week. So I come back for you, Manolis, and to tell us about this program. And I ask you so many questions, and we explain about this. Please.
Of course. The first thing that Ellinon Assembly or Ellinon Synelevsis is going to do on the first week is to give monetary relief to every Greek citizen who will be on the electoral register or on the election lists. We will give 20,000 euros as an economic relief, and at the same time 49,000 public works will commence. This is the first, not promise, it is something that it is our program that has been deposited, that has been given to the Attorney General's office in Athens or Areospagos with a number of protocols 6199 / 4th of the 9th, 2015. And that protocol proves that this is not just a false promise like all the political parties used to claim, so they will get the Greek voters to vote for them and fall for it, like we always have been. We have a subject for every part of our community.
Let's
Yes,
talk, Manolis. Like you say, why the Greek citizens? Because we have to know the Greece is a company.
yes.
We know in Washington D.C. with the law. I have it here, the paper 30/90/96, 93/11/06. This is a company. I want Anesti show this to the Greek fellers and to see this is a company. It's not a country. It's a company in Washington D.C.
Yes.
That means you have a citizen and Nathans. Can you tell us about what's the difference, citizens and Nathans, please?
The citizen is somebody that it belongs to a company. It's like an employee that supports a company. It is not easy to explain, but it's always under commands from that company. It doesn't matter if it is Greece, America, England, Germany, France, or any other country in the world. All the countries, they falsely claim that they are nations. The only one true nation is the Hellenic nation, and it's not Greek. We cannot call it Greek anymore because Greek is a false name for us. It's a Hellenic nation, always has been. But they built this company and they put us as numbers to pay them tax and support the economy. When we now find out that there has been immense funds hidden from us for our future, our descendants and our children to have a safe future. An indigenous native, a sovereign native, is somebody that cannot be ordered or been obliged to pay extreme taxation, and like we do today. They take more than half of what we earn, no voice, because we're just citizens. But once we claim that we are sovereign people, free people, we're not obliged to their rules anymore. That's a simple explanation that I can give.
You say before the program, every Greek should get 20,000 euros for help the bikini. This
Yes.
for every Greeks coming
Yes.
to vote, correct?
Yes,
So it no matter where you are live there, just you have to be a citizen or Nathan, you get 20,000 euros the first week to start your life. And
Yes.
before the program or the 49,000 different programs, the program called Hellas.
yes, yes.
Yes. And I want to go back to Fokion. Fokion, can you tell us about what's the program can do to the Greek natives or citizen, whatever you call them?
Yes. First of all, to make it clear from the start, Artemis Soros gave $600 billion for the Hellenic Republic, okay, to pay any loan Greece have with all of the bankers. As we saw, the government didn't do nothing. And we saw that $600 billion coming to the government budget. It proves that exist, but they don't do nothing to pay the loan that we have from the bankers. So first, all the Hellenes, because I agree with Manolis, Greek, it's not the real name. We call Hellenes. And Hellas, not Greece, is Hellas. So Hellenes right now have the biggest solution ever to come to the Ellinon Synelevsis and put his sign, their signatures. So after that, all their, how to say, the authority as the legal owners of their lands, it's coming back to their hands. Okay, because as the members, they are only, how to say, slaves to a private company. Okay, so the economical tools that Artemisoras gave to Hellas is the $600 billion. Also, it's $2.3 trillion to rebuild the nation from the start. These two economical weapons is validated by the proposal was lodged and validated by the relevant parties, AlfaOmega Station, the World Bank, Federal Reserve, ITC, Consolidated Credit Bank, LTD, United Nations, European Union, the European Central Bank, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, Hellenic Republic, Areopago, USA, and Russia. So we have a third economical tool. We call it weapon. This is the 8 shares of the Banque d'Orient. Okay, we can analyze all of these. And as Manolis said before, the next day is the 20,000 euros in every Elena. The next move of Ellinon Synelevsis is to create committees that they're going to check and to control what happened all these years that all these governments rule this land. So all of them, they will be checked and controlled to see what's happening.
I'm glad you say that, Fokion. I'm glad you say that because I want to ask the question, because everyone say how you make all this change, how you find the money, how you make all this program, because we know all these politicians talk to the balcony and say promises to do this, but never all these years don't do anything. So today the E.SY, the Greek organization, will come in to ask the vote of the Greek citizens or nations. They have a program and they have the money and proof it of all these international organizations.
Of course, it's all of them, it's proved. So right now, the Hellenes don't have to believe anyone anymore, okay? Against the political parties that ruled the last years this land, right now, Ellinon Synelevsis is the nation. All the brothers, all the Hellenes right now, uniting as one fist, one voice, to stop, to divide the humans, the human society. The Hellenic society is divided in political parties, in religions, in colors, in everywhere. So the first thing that we want is to unite all humans in one fist, in one nation, under our proud flag, the Hellenic flag. It's never happened this before. None, never. So Hellenes right now have the biggest solution to stop all this nightmare and all the sufferers.
Very, very well. Very good. I come back to Manolis. And Manolis, what's the next program? Let's talk about education, because Latin Americans and Greek Americans live all over the world, and you want to come back to our country. What expect for the new government of E.SY?
Well, the first thing and the most important thing that to create
Schools.
schools,
Because the schools you're going to have nothing. The school is about 40 years now, 60 years, what I remember, the same schools, the same buildings, and not the environments, not the good environments for the children.
yes, and we have forever students as well. They are forever students. It's like a profession now to be a student. They just do nothing.
You're right.
Yes, education, it is the biggest and the foremost important aspect of our lives, because if people are not educated, they cannot think straight. They will only do what they are told, like a parrot repeats words. So we want people with critical mind and critical thinking. So the most important thing will be to reform our education. I would like to read some from this chapter. Is the chapter 3, or C, which is the most important part of our life. Ellinon state, Ellinon politia, thinks that education is the most important part of our society. You have to excuse my English, of course, is not.
Oh, you are very
good.
well.
I will try. The program is to give massive amounts of funds, so it will be created the construct, the material construct, and the perfect, I can say perfect and full education of all the Greek children. So the target of Ellinon state is the full and complete education from all the parts, and the body, which now we see children are drawn onto the electric devices like mobile phones and stuff, and all they do is they waste their days. I know that because my boy is like that, and a lot of people's children are becoming like this. So, and it's the state's responsibility, which is going to be taken, which is going to take over completely as his duty and in front of our genus. The schools will be the places where the Hellenic generations will operate for the productions of new, here it says citizens, but natives, it is the right word. The new natives, with the build-up of the body and the soul and the spirit, so they will become valiant people, so they can handle and take over the Hellenic state on their own capable hands. We have to transfer the right way of operating a community. So it will begin from schools. The schools will not have any economical restriction, and they will be upgraded up to the highest standards, so the target is reached. They will have theaters, which now we see the schools, they don't do theatrics anymore like we used to have in ancient Greece, and people were really spirited, very very well educated, not only according to reading and writing, but have a critical thinking and be sensitive enough to see the reality around them, which they have lost touch right now, and that's the truth, I think. That means that the school will have to satisfy and develop all the creative abilities of the Hellenic children. I could do with
so many things.
Yes, it's
So many
too
things
much.
the program say, Manolis, and that's the reason I want to read very soon for Kion, the next subject. But I want to say, friends, this is a Philocharos for Radio Alpha Omega from USA. And please, you see the numbers, please call us any question you have. And please participate, coming with us, and let's to fight the new generation. We make the foundation of Greeks of Hellas for the next generation to build the perfect country, and will be examples for all the other countries. Now I come back to Fokion. Fokion, can you read something, the program, whatever you like? We have health, we have sports, we have tourism, so many things. What you want to, and we discussed, everybody knows what's happened and what we do the next day.
Yes, I want to read about the health program.
Health, very, very important, because yes, a lot of people, you want to retire after all these years working in America so hard. And I know a lot of Greeks, you don't want to come back to Greece because you don't have a health, you don't have insurance, you don't have a hospital. And everybody asking me, say, well, how I go there? You don't have hospital. But now the Ellinon Politia coming with this program, and nobody have to worry and not have to pay nothing. That's the writing of this program.
Exactly. The image of the Greek, the Hellenic society today, it's very ugly. There's no organized. It's nothing. So, before we said about the education, right now the schools looks like prisons, like small cages. There's no security. There's no education. The children go to the school and they go out without education. Anyway, same and worst is the health. You go to the hospital with a small problem and you go out with a bigger problem. So, the Politia, the state responsibility and primary concern is to provide free health for its citizens. The state will undertake big investments for the holistic cover of the citizens' health needs. It will establish hospital facilities that will respect all Hellenic citizens independently and with ideal conditions of stay. These hospitals will be staffed with the most specialized medical, nursing, and support personnel. The hospitals will be constructed in an environment that promotes the citizens' aesthetics at a high level. A center factory and other regional factories will have responsibility towards the Politia, the state, to manufacture medicines with unlimited production, potential, and best results for the sick. These medicines, apart from natural, which is the ideal, will be a mix of natural and artificial pharmacology with minimal contraindications. Apart from the so-called classical medicine, similar specialized facilities will also support alternative therapies such as therapeutic treatment, hydrotherapy, phytotherapy, aromatherapy, etc. The state, the Politia's main aim is for its citizens to live in an environment that promotes health through an Hellenic Mediterranean diet, water as intended by Mother Nature, and clean air. Specialized rehabilitation centers will be established for addicts who will be reintegrated into the healthy operations of the Politia once their health is restored. Special health care centers will be established for psychological illnesses. There will be contained support centers that will provide spiritual and body services for the correct functioning of the person in the Hellenic Politia. The Hellenic Politia will provide all the funding needed for the operation of these epic Hellenic therapeutic techniques. In this way, health centers will be revived to their true nature to murder Asclepiad centers, and so be it. It's the first time in Greece, in Hellas, we have this chance to change everything, to make a new start. We have so many things to show to the citizens. This is what we do right now. We give all this information. We don't have someone against us.
Very, very well. Fokion, question. This is beautiful things will happen in Greece very soon. The question is, what about all these years? Why all these politicians, all the Greeks government, so many years, you don't do anything about our country? Why? Why don't nobody make these things what you tell us? Because why? I tell you why, friends, because this is not Greeks. All the governments is not Greeks. By names, by proof, does not care about the Greek people. So you hear here the radio AlfaOmega of Philocharos. I see a lot of messages. I see there in the Facebook chat. And don't forget, call us. The number 267-772-4673. Also, anytime in the between, I want to ask Anestis to prepare to make some music. We stop for 2 minutes, and we come back again with more comment about the next day of this organization. We plan to change Greece, Hellas. They start from Hellas and after all over the world, and the people have to live with the peace and love and tranquility. So Anestis, please give us something, and we break and we'll come back in 2 minutes. Ωραία, είμαστε έξω.
Μπράβο, Ράνια, παίζει πολύ καλά.
Χρόνια δύσκολα, Ελλάδα μου σε βρήκανε. Την αξία σου αλίπητα χτυπήσανε. Όμως κανένας δεν θα μπορέσει να ξεχάσει την ιστορία σου που με αίμα έχεις γράψει. Φτώχεια και πείνα επικρατεί στα πεζοδρόμια, στα παγκάκια στους σταθμούς. Άνθρωποι γύρω πεθαίνουν μοναχοί. Αχ, Ελλάδα μου, φωνάζω δε μ' ακούς. σε γέμισα, Ελλάδα μου καημού.
From America every Sunday, 12 o'clock noon, New York time. So like you see the video, this is Hellas. That's my dreams, to come back again to our country. All the Greeks come back, and friend Greeks come back. We have a dancing, food, sirtaki, and fun. That's exactly this organization. That's the E.SY non-profit organization. All the United Greeks, he tried to take over the government. We fix it. The most beautiful country on earth. Desert for thousands and thousands of years is here and always stay the Greece, to show the other people what mean life, what mean truth, what mean justice. And now we talk about justice. Yes, Manolis, tell me a few minutes ago, I want Manolis tell you from your heart what you waited for the next day of E.SY take over the government.
Yes, I think this is something that every human being on the planet would like to see right now, is truly true justice. All these people that they have caused all of this misery around the planet to be judged and to be given the proper sentences that each one of them deserves. This is my wish, to see real justice being given. And with Elinon Synelevsis, it is a promise, not only by Artemis, but all of us, we will see this through.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We have dreams
Yes.
to come back to our country. For Keon, what you wish, what you dream, why you work so hard for this to be a justice and the freedom of Greece? What's your dreams for Keon?
I dream for freedom. Freedom is the breath of the soul. And we remember, excuse me, we remember that we are free every Sunday. We don't have freedom right now. The citizens out there, they are working for 8, 9, 10, sometimes 12 hours every day to take back a salary that cannot take place to survive. It's so unfair. All the humans in Greece, they live in justice. Unfair, so unfair. So, as Manoli said, we want justice, and we want freedom. And our time. We want our time back because we don't have time even to think as humans. The only thing that we think is how to survive, what to do to survive, how to work, how to find someone to help me to get more money to survive. No time to imagine, no time to think, no time to feel free. We are waiting beside the line to pay a bank loan. We are waiting in the traffic in the streets. To make a distance 3 kilometers, we need to make 30 minutes, 1 hour, because so much traffic. Our society is built like, how you say, the nest of the ants, something like this. Little by little, we're going to forget that we are human beings.
What to try to say to the Greek fellers in the Greek politia who take over the government, we plan 50% of all your work, pay everything, and 50% it's you to live your life how you want it. So it will continue. Because it's a big project, big thing to explain. With 1 hour, we have the show to explain all the program. Let's to continue a little bit more about sports. How the Greek politia you want to see the next day of all the young people and all people you want to be in athleticism, to be in the sports. Who you want to tell us, Manolis or Fokion?
Manolis?
There's not much I can say. One thing that I remember very vividly, spoken by Artemis himself, and plus I've read in our declaration for the program of the next day, what we're reading, is that all the schools are going to be responsible for the cultivation of the Hellenic kids' the development of the body and the spirit. That says it all. That means that the school will provide everything needed so our children are exercised on a daily basis, and that will build up the body, the spirit, and the soul. That's the most important thing out of all of it. There will not be any more private sectors for exercising. Everything will be undertaken by the school. That's the most important thing that I kept, so I don't even need to read that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that means all the kids stay in the school late afternoon and they have all the coaches and all top technology and equipment what the school and the teachers and the coaches need to educate or to build the body to compete around the world.
Yes, well, they don't really have to stay late in the afternoon because um, the curriculum will change. They're not going to read about religion or silly educational books that they just turn the mind into mush, like jelly. So basically, the children will study real science. They will be acting with their own hands and their mind, hands-on education. There will be anything needed for anyone, any kid that wants to follow something or they have a natural, um, um, how can I say it? They're natural, like I like to work with wood, okay? Why would I go to school and read stupid mathematics that they do nothing to you, or stupid religious books that they have nothing to do with me, or anything else that is not proven science? And we see that today.
So the Greek politia
Will provide for everything.
Provide to everybody you want to choose where you want to be and to educate you and exactly what you specialize.
That's right. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, and that's where no. But what happened? The money. They have the money to build all these things.
Oh yes, our funds are unlimited, and we're gonna make sure that it's been given to all the sectors, so we build the next day at the highest standards for everyone.
That's very good, very good. I'll come back again for Kion. This is it's so many things we discussed, but I try to minimize my show to get everything possible about the tourism. What do we do?
About the tourism.
What do we do? All these archaeological things we have, because what I know, I think if we build up in the old archaeological temple, all these things, can you tell us about what they see this organization do for this project?
Yes, I would like to read. Anyone, if he wants, he can find our policy statements of Ellinon Synelevsis through the internet as a PDF file. Okay, so I will read about the tourism. We live in a country that was home to the gods, and it is a divine gift that the Apollonian sun shines brightest here, including Poseidon, who through water has created the waters that surround our vast coastlines. It is a fact that all people around the world dream to visit Hellas. Astounding investments have been planned for tourism in both winter and summer periods. Everyone will be given the opportunity to visit Hellas. This means huge infrastructure, including an intricate road network or mainland and island parts of Hellas. They will include large motorways which will interconnect simultaneously, accommodating high-speed trains with utmost security, all having direct connection with the ports and airports. All cities and towns will be fully accessible with direct connections from eco-city trains. Hellas is the country of the sea, and huge, state-of-the-art marinas welcoming guests from all over the world will be constructed. The vicinity will consist of all the necessary support personnel. Thousands of paradise resorts for the hospitality of guests in both mountainous and beachfront areas all over Hellas will be opened, always with respect to the natural environment. These locations will entirely embrace the natural environment and consist of living standards such as organized, autonomous residences for people in towns and villages. All these locations will have frequent visits and excellent accessibility with the appropriate means of transport, road, air, sea, etc. The alien diet will be promoted as the most appreciated and healthiest of people's well-being. Every visitor will sign a declaration of commitment complying with the conditions and rules they need to strictly follow during their stay in Hellas. This includes great respect towards the natural alien environment, the compliance with the laws of the politia, and utmost respect to sacred events of the indigenous native aliens. Any breach of the aforementioned will result in strict punishment, including deportation and restriction of entry to the country indefinitely. People will be able to prosper in a naturally clean alien environment. The highest quality services and supply of products that will be distributed will be the incentive of reward for the work produced. Through tourism, the identification of country will be set on a global scale. Tourism will advertise Hellas around the world. This will show that Hellas is a global political, economic, and cultural power.
That means Greece so beautiful, and if I know everybody go to Greece, I think he signed some papers, correct me if I'm wrong, signed the papers in airport to come in to see all the archaeological and all the buildings. If destroyed anything, this person will never come back to this country, is correct?
Exactly what I read before, yes.
That means all Greeks, you know that, and all French, you want to go to this country. The country is supposed to be beautiful, like 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. That's our plan. But
exactly,
you have to respect what you find it, and you live in, and you see, and you have a beautiful time, and you out from there without do any damage. So exactly. I want to come back again to Manolis, who back forth to each other to have a conversation. Manolis, I want to tell us about the next day, if the Americans, Australia, Greeks, or any want to go to invest, to do something in Greece. You have any factories? What's the plan of E.SY? What's this plan to do about working or factories or any kind of business?
Well, the one thing that sorry, are you asking me about aliens of abroad coming back to Greece, or just any person want to start a business?
What's the program? Of course, yes. The Greeks can make any business or factories. Can another people all over the world come to Greece to do that, invest? What you program exist?
Yes, apart from the Greeks, nobody else can become a boss in Greece. This is a red line. All these years we see foreign powers to have big businesses in Greece. They give nothing back to us, to the Greek people, and they take away our resources. Yes, for the industry, because I haven't translated any of this, I don't know if there's already translation of the program.
This is a big thing you tell us. Yes. That means the Greeks, you have so much money, you don't need to have somebody invest there, right?
That's it. Yes, basically, yes.
So everything, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the industry and the energy industry is going to be built upon on all the sectors of our society. We're going to have the biggest business in Greece. We're going to build the biggest factories, and we're going to build factories to build our own equipment that they're going to build other factories. We're not going to order machinery, for example, from abroad so we can build a new factory in Greece. We're going to be autonomous on all the sectors. Like I said, I haven't done any translation for the industry.
Yes.
If
you want Greece to
sorry,
be independent. You want to be independent.
Yes,
Of course,
it
every
has
country,
to be independent. Yes,
every
we
country
have to be independent. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
every country you want to be independent because especially if you have the budget, if you have the money, you can build what you really like to for your own citizens.
Yes.
Keon, I know it's very important. It is how the environments, how the Greeks or anybody come to Greece about the environments, about the food. What's planned to do there?
About the foods,
Foods, yes, and the environments. How the Greek people, because the last years we lost the nature, we lost modified all these companies coming with a bad food, especially here in America. We eat the junk, unbelievable what we eat. But what's the program in Greece for this?
no more crap food, no more garbage food.
No
We are
more
talking
GM.
about- We will have all the natural seeds,
Exactly, that's what you want to tell us.
not mutant, not mutant. About the environment, we will show so much respect to the environment, and all our cities will be inside the environment. Because right now Athens is a concrete jungle, and we have few trees inside.
Pollution is the most pollution city in Earth.
Exactly, exactly. So, Artemis Oras and Elinon Synellepsis dealing about the foods, about the water, about the environment, about everything. I don't want to read again and make you tired, but we are the only political body that commitment in the Areopago, all these things that everybody can find, the policy statements of Elinon Synellepsis in the internet. You can read it, and it's all true, and it's all serious. Okay? It's the biggest chance that a human being have. So, what else to say about the environment and the foods?
So no pollution. This is organization against the pollution. All the bad modified shit supposed to go out our country to live like 50 and 70 years ago, natural, and produce, because Greece produce the best material, the best olive oil. So many things. The environment is about 360 days a year have a sun, so you can live. You don't need to have all these companies to make us sick, or the pollution in the water, or the air.
Yes.
Artemis Oras and Elinon Synellepsis, I'm sorry, saying that our earth have a name. And her name, the name of the earth is Dimitra. So we must respect our Mother Earth, because Dimitra, our Mother Earth, giving us everything, all the wealth.
Before we go to the last one, I have the last one, it's security. But I want to say to the Greek friends and Greek citizens all over you live the world, this is Philocharos for Radio AlfaOmega. I come the show every Sunday, the same time, 12 o'clock, noontime. And also don't forget, after 4 hours from now, we have the Greek show, the Greek language. We have very important guests about what's going on. All the Greek politicians signed the papers and tied our country for 90 years. We are slave, and if we don't do something. So we talk about 4 hours from now, and we continue the last subject, I left the last one, it is security. How to have a peace, you have to prepare for war. That's the Greek word, say the Spartacus. You have to be at peace, yes, but you have to prepare for the war. What the Greek program for organization E.SY, for Elinos in LFC, do the next day of security? Manoli, Fokion.
Okay. Armed Forces, Security Services. The Politia standing position is, if you want peace, you must always be prepared for war, as you said before. The Ellen Politia will see that the armed forces and security bodies perform their duty of security, prosperity, and progress for the Ellen ethnos. Ethnos means nation. The three branches of the armed forces, including the Army, Navy, and Air Force, will be strengthened with modern weapon systems. Ellen assembly factories will have priority for the construction of these weapon systems. Large importance will be given to the borders, including mainland and island parts of Hellas. All areas will be manned with state-of-the-art surveillance devices and immediate intervention in both human resources and equipment. Particular care will be met for feeding and accommodation in army camps. High living standards for the armed forces will be introduced as they are a vital part of the Ellen Politia. Training and exercises centers will be of high technical specifications, and the strict exercise program for emergency response will be incorporated for land, sea, and air. Any international collaboration will be benefit towards the attainment of these goals will be exploited. Priority will be given to innovative technologies created by Ellen scientists and inventors adapted to suit the geographical makeup of the Hellas. Leakage of such innovations towards foreign entities other than Hellas will be stopped, and they will be applied and developed only by Ellen factories and cooperation with the armed forces. With great respect, the Ellen Politia will ensure that those who serve the ultimate duty for the security of the country will not have any suspensions or obstacles in carrying out their duties. The Politia will support their wage, security, and retirement so they are able to perform their duty towards their country undisturbed. Their knowledge and experiences are useful and important. As such, it must be shared among younger, higher, and lower ranked officers and soldiers of the armed forces. Training will be of high standards for all who serve the armed forces. Upgrades will take place in all settlements of the armed forces with great respect of their contribution. About our security.
Yes, we have things to show to the people, but you can find it in every site of Elinos in LFC, so many sites, so many radio, you can find, everybody can read in Greek and English, all the program. And because this program, this organization signed to previous court, we do that because we have the budget, we have the money, we can do it. So Greek fellas, before you go to vote, ask you if you want to vote any party, because party mean separate the Greeks each other. Ask the program and sign in the program what you do the next day, where you find the money to do the program, if anybody, politicians say about this. So this show is coming to the end very soon, but remember one thing, Greek friends, all the Greeks come back to Greeks. About 500,000 the last 7 years left out of the country, the young people, doctors, workers, engineers, everybody should come back to Greece. And also one thing for security, we hire 700,000 Greeks, young people in army and pay the money every month. We protect, we hire our Greeks, 700,000 people, they have a job. to protect our country and all these equipments, like you say, for a few minutes ago. Our Manolis prepared for the last sirtaki. We have a fun, like we say. We want to be in good shape. But before we close, we give to Manolis to say a few words, to say to everybody, and we'll come back for Kion after.
Okay, I wanted to say something about the security for Kion has read before. All of these years, we have seen Greek inventors been demised in their own right, according to the state. The state will not let them bring in the surface of our perception of what they have been developing. Any Greek scientist always has left the country because the country has never provided anything to them. We have seen it happening all these years. They never wanted the Greek nation to uprise and show its grandeur, to show what they can do. They always have been pushed out, like so many Greek scientists we never heard of, and they did grand things abroad, like in America. Like, for example, from Kalymnos, I remember one young boy who was taken by NASA, never saw his family again, and then he came back with the NSA agents look after him. He was never been treated by or shown up by the Greek government or even mentioned. None of the Greek big minds have shown anything to the Greek people because the state never let them. With Ellinon Politia, all of this is going to be rendered right. We're going to have the best scientists because the greatest minds are Hellenic. And I'm looking forward to this. What I want to say is that I'm sorry I didn't have the translation with me. I tried to auto-translate straight away. Next time I will have the proper documents. It is a very big thing. What you're doing, Philocharos, is people need to be educated about what is happening worldwide. And within the English tongue is the best way to do it. I'd like to thank you for having me in your show. Very nice talking to you, for Kion as well. And that's all from me.
Thank you, Manolis. Thank you. We have you here, and all like you say, yes, the Greeks. You must know everybody knows. You wouldn't have to say about us. We know how the Greeks everywhere you go is success. Everywhere you go, it's a Greek, and you have to represent the flag. Is the Greek is a special people, very special people. You have to show the example. We have to show to all over the world. We're the one. We start from motherland Greece, like 2,000 years, 3,000 years ago. We start again. So, for Kion, tell us the last words before we close, and Manolis make us happy again with a beautiful sirtaki.
If someone wants to know what is Ellinon Synelevsis, he can find our values and our merits. It's 12. All the laws that will come for our society, all the laws will come out based of these 12 values. If you read these 12 values, it's the physiology of a human. So all the laws will come by the humans. Artemis Soras came to Greece, to Hellas, with a mission. That mission is to liberate Hellas from all the bank system, from all those politicians to give liberty for us and to rebuild the nation from the start, making the laws based on the value system. And it's the biggest chance for all of us to unite, to forget, to leave back all the false theories. We stop to believe because we start to learn. Now we know we don't have to believe or not to believe because we know everything. We know what happened on Greece. We know everything. Who made this? Who did that? We know everything. So now we take our lives back, and the message that I want to give for all the Greeks, for all the humans out there, is that the Greek nations uniting again. We are all outside in the streets, and we give the informations to all, no matter if he's Hellenas, no matter if he's from another country. What we do is to give information because big things are coming, so humans must be ready to make their decisions. If they want to live like this, okay, but if they don't want to live like this, they must come to Ellinon Synelevsis. That's my message. We're waiting all of you to join Ellinon Synelevsis.
Thank you. Thank you, Fokion. Thank you, Manolis, both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you coming to the show. And like you say, we have volume because every Sunday we come back with a new project. Last week we have the values and all these things every time. And thank you very much. Don't forget this Philohoros for Radio Alpha Omega. Every Sunday, the same time, we come back with a new project, with the new people. This because all the Greeks working suffer our life today is not necessary to do the future for our children. So we build the foundation for the new Hellas. So see you next Sunday, and don't forget, 4 hours from now we have the Greek show. It's very important too. We wait to see. Bye bye. See you. Good night.
Ελευθερία.
Κοιτάξτε τι έχει γίνει. Κοιτάξτε τι έχουν κάνει. Πόσα χρόνια. Έχουμε όλα τα στοιχεία. Έχουμε τα δικά μας λεφτά. Δεν ζητάμε τίποτα ξένο. Δεν θέλουμε τίποτε άλλο εκτός από τα δικά μας. Πρέπει να μείνουμε στη συνένωση Ελλήνων. Στην ένωση των Ελλήνων.
Εμείς οι Έλληνες το έχουμε ξανακάνει. Είχατε ξεχάσει ποιοι είστε. Μάθετε ποιοι είστε. Είστε οι καλύτεροι, οι δυνατότεροι, αυτοί που θα δώσετε όλη την αλλαγή. Όλος ο πλανήτης περιμένει από την Ελλάδα. Πρέπει να αποφασίσουμε ποιοι είμαστε και τι θα κάνουμε. Δεν έχω ευχές, αλλά έχω να δώσω έναν όρκο. Ότι θα είμαι μέχρι το τέλος. Μέχρι τελευταία σταγόνα του αίματός μου και θέλω δίπλα μου όλους τους Έλληνες και τους συνέλληνες σε μια τόσο μεγάλη τεράστια μάχη. Την οποία πρέπει να την κερδίσουμε. Πρέπει να νικήσουμε. Τελικά έχω ένα σκασμό τόκου στον χρόνο, δεν ξέρω τι ακριβώς πληρώνω. Τελικά την Τράπεζα της Ελλάδα δεν την ελέγχει κανένας μεδικό άθρο, την εθνική δεν την ελέγχει ποτέ. Οι τράπεζες δεν ελέγχονται, φτιάξτε και το ταχυσίγμα να στο πάρουνε. Τον Άριο Πάγο το ζαρίζουνε που έχουν βγάλει τα σκότια. Τη Βουλή σου δεν υπάρχει, ό,τι γουστάρουν υπογράφουνε. Και εσύ ρε συνέλληνα δοχά μου μιλάμε ότι είναι ο τόπος σου. Σου διαλύσανε τα πάντα και συνεχίζουν και διαλύουν. Σου διαλύσαν τα νοσοκομεία, σου διαλύσαν τις συντάξεις στα ταμεία. Τα πάντα στα διαλύσαν όλα ρε. Γυρνούν την Ελλάδα, σου διαλύουν το στρατό, σου διαλύουν την αστυνομία, σου διαλύσαν τις μυστικές υπηρεσίες, σου διαλύσαν τη γλώσσα, σου διαλύσαν την παιδεία, σου διαλύσαν τα πάντα. Κύριοι, δεν θα επιτρέψουν οι Έλληνες η Ελλάδα να είναι σε κανένας ξέρουν τα χέρια. Θέλω τη μητέρα των μητέρων μου ελεύθερη, θέλω το μέλλον μου δικό μου, θέλω το δίκαιο και τη δικαιοσύνη με έτσι όπως ακριβώς πρέπει να είναι και ζητάω μόνο τα δικά μου. Δεν ζητάω παραπάνω και λιγότερα από τα δικά μου. Έναν όρκο ότι θα πρέπει να φτάσουμε μέχρι το τέλος είναι πολύ μεγάλες και ιερές οι στιγμές που βιώνουμε σε όλη την Ελλάδα και για όλο τον ελληνισμό. Έχει ετοιμαστεί τα πάντα. Όλο το σχέδιο είναι έτοιμο. Είναι μόνο να μαζευτούν οι Έλληνες. Η ώρα των Ελλήνων είναι το 14. Εάν η νίκη δεν είναι δικιά μας, θα φάμε όλοι βραδινό στον άδειο. Ο χαμένος θα χάνει όλα. Και ο νικητής θα παίρνει. Πρέπει να νικήσουμε. Το έτος το 14 είναι η ώρα των Ελλήνων. Όλοι μονιασμένοι. Την Ελλάδα θα την πάρουμε στα χέρια μας.